Oh hey viewers! So this is round 8 of the 2020 to 2021 exhibition season, manufacturers round 8. I think I said that twice, whoops. But anyways, so we are at the Tokyo Xtreme inner loop, I believe. I can't remember the exact loop configuration, but as you can see there, I'm kind of in a lower DR lobby just because from the previous race where my SR got tanked down to an A, I had to go and do some daily races to get my SR back up, but because I want to get my SR back up, that came with the cost of my DR, so it's dropped a bit, and right now, as of this race that you're seeing here, it was at about 40,000 DR on the precipice there. Had another GT Planet member there, TPC Raccoon in here, so that was nice to see. And because we were in Tokyo, I made a special livery for my Viper based off of a Flame Dragon from Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3, one of the bosses in Osaka. As you can see there, had to wall grind, slow down, not go into SPL in front of me. I thought they braced a little earlier than I expected, so. But yeah, so I got a special livery for this race. Turns out I was pretty good at this race, I felt, so I was looking forward to it. And we skip ahead now to qualifying. And there's a huge straight line here. It's like almost a full mile. No, it's over a full mile long thing. It's like over a couple kilometers. I can't remember, but anyway, it takes forever. As you can see here, we're speeding up to about 350% speed now, and I was trying to get the draft of the guy ahead for slipstream, but I didn't get the range right. And annoyingly, the person behind me got my slipstream and passed me because they were going so much faster. And as you see there, they really didn't do well in that sector and completely ruined my lap. So I'm just backing out of this, and I'm going to go again on my own, this time without slipstream. So we'll see how that goes, just because that straight is really long. So as you can see there, I managed to do a 208 dead on, and I don't improve on this lap. Without slipstream, that was enough to get me 8th place. So I felt pretty good about that. I knew I could go faster if I could just hook together the laps properly, because in free practice, or in practice, I got up to like 237s or 207s. But anyways, here we are at the race start, and this is a fuel saving race, if you didn't know. As you saw there, I was in lean 6, and right now I'm burning out some fuel because I want to get into the slipstream in the McLaren, and I look back, see no one, but I see next to me is a Jaguar. That caught me a little off guard. But anyways, you can see that there are some people who are going full on out, not fuel saving, versus people like me who are fuel saving, and I can definitely say fuel saving is the way to go. But straight line, hard braking zone, turn 1. What kind of chaos are we going to see? We make up a place. WSR actually wipes out a Jaguar. There's a McLaren coming beside me from out of nowhere. So that was a bit chaotic. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at that, what happened there. So as you can see here, the entire top 5 outbrake themselves. And yeah, and unfortunately, you know, we're too far back to capitalize on that, but it's a little amusing there. And you saw that WSR actually, which really didn't give me any room as they were passing me, and then wiped out the Jaguar. So we still find ourselves in 8th place despite that chaos, and we're just trying to stay in the slipstream here. Slipstream is critical not only for the speed, but the fuel saving too, because pretty much every car can make it to the end, so long as you use the fuel map properly and short shift properly. And as I was saying before all that happened, the definitive strategy for this race is to fuel save. I have not seen a single person do this race and get a good result by spending all the fuel. But anyways, we come into this quick left-right exchange. I love this exchange. But then WSR, as you wish, they go into the wall, and they decide to come back onto the racing line despite going slow, and I just go into them and get spun out. And we are down to dead last because of that. So just going to play that back and see what exactly happened. They made an unforced error and crashed into the wall. But as you can see there, they're on the right side of the track, so you'd think you would stay to the right, you know, but no, they decided that they want to come back into the racing line, and I'm the unfortunate person who hit them. And annoyingly, they came out of that fine because they were flipped the right way, and of course no penalty, because, you know, it's perfectly clean to just go ahead and kill your opponents by blocking them at a 100-mile-an-hour speed difference. But anyways, so I was about ready to just throw it in the pits and just go ahead and let the race finish, but because, as I said earlier, my DR was pretty low as I screw up that turn, because I was just I was starting to see the red mist, because I was pretty annoyed at that. But as I said earlier, my DR was pretty low, so I decided, no, I have to keep going, try to make up as many places as possible. As you see there, Rip 3 Diamonds going pretty slowly. They actually said in the lobby to please stay away from them because they were unfamiliar with this course, so fair play to them. But anyways, yeah, so I decided I just have to keep going because I need to try to minimize my DR loss as much as possible. So coming up now to the lap 5, this penalty zone just really poorly placed in my opinion. Like, I appreciate that it's not on the final back straight where, you know, you would just lose so much time slowing down, but at the same time, placing it there is right before a pretty hard braking zone where everyone's going fast. And as you see there, when people are on ghosts and there are multiple people who are serving penalties, it can get pretty chaotic pretty quickly. But anyway, so we've gone up to 19th now, and we were passing his Mazda on our right, we're passing on their right. And annoyingly, they decided to start bump drafting me, and you know, that's what you should be doing in a race like this. But the problem is that the state of the penalty system, bump drafts give you an SR down, and I do not want that, and this guy keeps bump drafting me. So I pull over because I'm like, dude, stop touching me, you're ruining my DR. And annoyingly, they decided to go and make the overtake into this corner, which is, I mean, it's fair enough. I gave them the room because I swerved over, and you know that we are racing, so it's fair. But I knew I was faster than this person. I mean, I started much higher up, and I saw how quickly I was gaining on them earlier, so I knew I was faster. So I didn't want to waste time behind them, so I make a rather aggressive overtake into this corner here. Normally, I would never try to overtake someone there, but as you can see, they kind of screwed up the entry and slid around, so I passed. But what's really annoying is that, again, they were fully in their right to race me, but they decided to try to go for an overtake here. We make contact. I hit the wall and get a 1.5 second penalty, great. And then they hit the wall and they end up getting a 2 second penalty. So, you know, good job. But going back and looking at that, yeah, I did turn in on them. I did not give them much space. In my defense, you know, they could have gone further over to the right, but anyways, again, I was very annoyed because, you know, I could have had a good result of this race. I got killed on that corner, and now I have a person who's slower than me fighting me. And, you know, as you see there, they kind of just decided to go into the wall and give themselves another 1.5 seconds of penalty. But anyways, it's kind of a thing where you have to race smart. Like, if someone is faster than you and it's clear that they're faster, yeah, you can race them and pass them, but you're just going to slow both of yourselves down by doing that. It's smarter just to slot in behind them, and especially in this race, slot in behind the faster person, take their slipstream, save fuel. But anyways, nothing else happened after that. We ended up crossing the line in 11th, so we made up 9th position, which was pretty good. And that was solely because people ahead were pitting refueling. So that's what I mean by I don't see how refueling was going to be the better strategy. But anyways, we go again. We're now 13th in this race. We only lost a couple hundred DR, so we're still at the above the 40,000 mark. But you can see here that I'm in a room that is definitely more at my level. It's about 200 point room. That's kind of like the upper limit of my talents. So I was feeling okay about this, and actually we see there are a couple people there that I recognize too, so it was nice seeing some familiar faces, knowing that, you know, hopefully this race won't turn into a murder fest. But anyways, we go ahead and qualifying, and there's a Lancer ahead of me. I didn't want to be behind the Lancer because it has, you know, pretty poor straight line speed. But, you know, we're all fighting for the slipstream. I'm trying to keep my distance. The Lancer brakes, the Sirocco brakes, I brake as well. That kind of sets off a Constantine effect behind me because people were going at full speed. And now this is what happens when you need slipstream during qualifying. It just turns into a mess of everyone not wanting to be first. So critically, I get ahead of the Lancer, and we all eventually do slot in around this corner, thankfully. So luckily, that didn't turn into some of the top sled races that you may have seen with like Kia and Attigny, where they're all bunched up at the very last corner, no one willing to give each other the slipstream. But anyways, we come around to that lap, and honestly, that lap was pretty bad. It was a 209.3. That was with slipstream on both the straightaways. So I decided, since I'm knee-deep in people, there's a person right ahead and a person right behind, I'm just going to go ahead and lap by myself, because that's the better option here. And annoyingly, I wasn't able to crack the 207 barrier again, but if anything, I was consistent. I got 208.003 this time, so I was was that 3,000th of a second slower than my last qualifying lap, but still, that was good enough for P9 in this lobby, so that was pretty good in my opinion. But anyways, we're going to go ahead and cut to the start now, and as you see there, threw in fuel 6 to save some fuel, revving it out a little bit to get into the slipstream. I see that the people ahead are playing the same game, they're fuel saving, so I can start short shifting. I don't need to worry too much about it. Scirocco on my left looks like they're going for it, but then they start losing steam, so I think they start fuel saving again. So, you know, whatever. Let's try not to kill each other into this corner, guys. Not like last time. K-Funk ahead goes defensive. I didn't plan on attacking, but, you know, whatever. But you can see some people ahead are a little wide, but for the most part, turn 1 was actually clean. You see that Labme again is to my right. I give them room. I thought I was going to slide. I was trying to slide ahead to the slipstream there. That's why I kind of weaved in front of them. But I saw they were there, so I backed off. But they back off behind me, and it's kind of a smart move. Right now, it's the first lap. We're still all in line. Let's not try to win it all in the first few corners, you guys. But that's not smart. So at this point, I'm kind of taking it a little easy. Full fuel load. Tires are cold. I'm well aware there's someone behind me, but again, I try not to push too hard and hit a wall and get a stupid penalty, ruin my race again. So we're going to come now into this the fast left-right complex. Again, I love this complex, and I do take it wrong a little bit. I come out, I get a poor exit, so that means that I'm losing the slipstream of the people ahead of me, and that means people behind me now are all going to be on my rear because they have my slipstream and slipstream of them. So I'd say there's a huge group ahead though, so I should be able to catch up in this braking zone, which I do. So we go in there, and you see that CGM actually goes for a very aggressive defense, but then completely misses the braking point and wipes out the Atenza ahead, and gets a 4-second penalty for that. And okay, annoyingly, my G27 double downshifted there. For some reason, I've been having issues with some of the inputs on the G27. One of the things it likes to do at random times is double downshift or upshift to me when I hit the paddles, so that was really annoying. As you see there, you know, slight contact with CGM. If I was in second gear, I probably would have been fine, but I've lost so much speed because it decided to shift me into first gear. So now I am just losing all kinds of steam from all the people who have the slipstream ahead of me and behind me, and now you see I'm being swarmed. I went from, what was that, 9th place to 12th in the span of just this straightaway. But anyways, I talked to CGM after the race, and yeah, it turns out they were trying to change the fuel map at kind of the wrong spot, lost track of the braking zone, and that's what I mean by that area is kind of a bit of a mess. So we go into lap 2, the first corner, and it's a mess. You can see that Alex Cubes grinds the wall because they missed their braking point. The Scirocco desperately tries to not hit anyone by spinning out, but spinning was not a good trick at this rate. And as you see there, Holy Pizza is spun out completely in front of us. So all kinds of anarchy going on here. Penalties abound. I went up 3 places from that. So we're gonna go ahead and engage warp drive again because just nothing too much happened. Just following these guys, but kind of good racing here just because as in no one's killing themselves. We're all in a good line. You can see there that I'm in the slipstream of CGM ahead, and as you see here, the Tenza and the Mercedes, CGM, they all serve the penalties, so that's 2 free positions there. Ferrari going slow ahead, another free position there. Don't miss my braking point like sometimes qualifying, and hit that braking point beautifully, and I'm up into 6th place. Now, the annoying thing is I don't have slipstream ahead of me, and the group ahead has theirs, so they can pull away. But nice thing is, looking back, we saw there everyone had like penalties, and like they are all fighting. So that was beautiful to look at. Good to look at in my eyes because that means they're going to be slowing each other down, even though they have slipstream. They'll be fighting to the corners. So that was the end of the excitement for lap 2 there, and we're going to go ahead and skip all the way to lap 7 because it was pretty much just me free lapping, but that Tenza that got wiped out was fast, and they caught up to me at the end of lap 7, as you see here. So they go for a very good move on the outside. I defend on the inside, but because they go wide, they have the much better exit, and also I try to avoid that barrel bollard thing. I couldn't remember if hitting those would slow you down because I know some of them did, and I didn't want to find out. But we lose 6th place there to Jeeves, and I'm content on sliding in behind them with the slipstream again, trying to play it smart here. I know they're faster than me, so I didn't really want to resist too much anyways. But I get a poor exit out here, and that invites the Ferrari behind me to make a move. So I didn't really expect them to go for this move, but, you know, the space was open, so I did. I tried to back off, but ends up causing me to go into the wall, and honestly, they kind of forced me wide there, too. But anyways, I had no choice but to let Alex Cube and the Mustang go through because they had much more speed, and, you know, I'm not trying to murder people. It's just manslaughter because it's accidental. That's how it works, right? But anyways, so at this point, you know, dropped 3 places there, so feeling a little disappointed in myself, but we carry on. There's still 2 laps. A lot can happen. I'm going to fuel save a little bit more, even though I'm good towards the end. I'm good for the end at this point. I just want to go ahead and build up a reserve so that way I can really push at the end. I need about 5% to make it to the end from that corner, last corner to the finish line in 1, but anyways, you can see just how powerful the slipstream is. I am in lean 6, and I'm catching up on Alex Cube because it's late in the race, and I know we were not too different pace. I decided to go for the move here. I go on the inside, hit my braking point beautifully, hit the apex, go ahead, keep it narrow, hit the other apex so they can't make a cutback on me, throttle out, and we got the job done. They're behind, but yeah, you can see that even though they're in my, as you know, we're playing dodge the barrels again. I feel like it's Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 all over. They're in the slipstream, but I cover them off on the inside, and they back off into this complex here. So now I just need to try to go ahead and build a gap between them, because again, we weren't too differently paced. And you see there, again, they're on slipstream, and I'm not going to let someone go up my inside here a 3rd time. So I kind of stay on the inside, they go to the outside, they back out because they can't make the move work. So they drop back a bit because of that, so I have a little breathing room. So now I just need to focus on making sure I don't screw up this complex again, because when you get this right, you can gain so much time on your lap, and it just feels so satisfying. So we get it okay there. I could have come out faster, but you can see Alex Cube must have made a mistake because they're dropping off pretty far behind, and the Ferrari ahead is going pretty slowly, so they must be hurrying on fuel. And you see there, I decided, you know, don't really want to go for the move just yet, so I'm going to back off, and I'm going to wait till the straightaway to do it, or the later corners here. So I try to go up the inside, they're on the outside, we give each other space, but can't really make the move work with how the geometry of this corner is, so we're going to go ahead and wait till the straightaway. They grind the wall, so I know that they had a bad exit, and because I have some extra fuel, I know that I can go ahead and afford to stay in 1 a little bit, rev the car a little more. I was shifting at below 50%, now I'm shifting a little higher, above 50%, because I can afford that extra fuel. You can see there that we're flipping it back to lean, we're going past it in slipstream, and they had to have been mega fuel saving. Turns out they were, because they never actually really get past me again. See there, I actually switched to 3rd person view just to get a better view of where they were, so I thought they were still beside me, but the little indicators weren't there. So now they're on my outside out of the slipstream, so it's final lap. I'm definitely not going to try to follow people anymore. I definitely want to place them now, especially because you can see that there are 2 more people behind us who have caught up. And so coming into turn 1, we go defensive. They break pretty early. They're trying to hit the apex, but I hit the apex. I stay narrow, try to prevent them from getting the cutback. We're successful, throttle out, and yeah, and they start dropping off. You can see how quickly they're dropping off, so obviously they can't match the acceleration I have anymore because the fuel's low. So we're going to come ahead to the last bit of the final lap of the race. You can see there that the hiatus, clever name, has caught up to us, and they are in our slipstream and they're gaining. So I know they're probably going to try slingshot pass on the straightaway, and you see there the Mazda ahead is actually going pretty slow, but they go for the inside, and I'd say, you know what, I want to play a game with them. I want to let them pass me, and then I'm going to go into their slipstream and slingshot by them instead, so that way they can't do it on me. So I have all the fuel I need. So you can see that I have 6% left. That's 2% more than I need. So I go ahead and slingshot past them, and I switch to a 3rd-person view here because what I do is I lift off slightly so that they can't get behind me and get to my slipstream and try to slingshot past me again. But turns out it was all for naught. They actually ran out of fuel right there. And it turns out that the Mazda ahead was almost out of fuel too. You can see how fast I'm closing on them. And, you know, it was a gap of, what was that, about 0.6 of a second between me and them. So if I didn't play the games with the Porsche, I knew that both of the people in front and behind me were low on fuel. Like maybe could have gotten 6th place by just hammering it out with all the extra fuel that I had. But you know, that's what the power of hindsight is, and we come back to finish 7th place in that race. So definitely satisfied with the results there. It was 151 points. So Again, if I got 6th place, would have had a little higher, and there's my beautiful Flame Dragon livery. Tribute to Tokyo Xtreme Racer 3. That game series really needs a reboot, but yeah, so I was satisfied with that result, because this lobby was closer to where I was supposed to be, and 7th place is not bad for that, so yeah. Come out with the blue S, so that's good, and gain some DR back from both the lowering from raising my DR and all that, but yeah. Anyways, that was the video, so if you enjoyed that, like and subscribe please, and see you guys in the next one. Oh, bye, viewers!